Hye Young received her bachelor degree in ceramic and glass art in South Korea. She went on to complete a master degree in modern art, connoisseurship, and the history of art market in the United States. Hye Young has worked at various galleries and arts NGOs in South Korea and the United States, including the ASEAN Korea Center in Seoul. Her job is to organize and manage exhibitions, cultural programs, and educational workshops. Since September 2016, Hye Young has been working at the Korean Cultural Center in Hanoi as part of the next expert training series by Korean Arts Management Service to research contemporary art and create cultural exchange program. Hello and welcome to Sharing Vietnam. The relations between Vietnam and South Korea have been blossoming in many areas, such as trade, investment, and culture. In our program today, we'll get to know about efforts to connect the two countries in a new aspect, which is contemporary arts. Our guest is Ms. Hye Young Kim, a South Korean expert who has been passionate about Vietnamese contemporary arts. Hello, Hye Young. Thank you very much for joining us today. What were the reasons for you to arrive in Vietnam in the first place?
In 2015, maybe, I came to Hanoi for my business trip. And it was very interesting. I mean, people were so nice to me and I really like Vietnamese food. Also, the city looks very exotic for me. So yeah, at the time I enjoyed a lot. And then last year when I work in nonprofit organizations, I was looking for some grant programs from Korean government. And then I found this program called Next Experting. It's organized by Korean Art Management Service. And then they are sending art experts to Korean Cultural Center in the world. And then I choose Vietnam. You know, I have a really great memories here. And also in Korea, there's not many people to know about Vietnamese contemporary art. So personally, I really like to find something new and meet people to talk about art things, and I really like to build networks. So this is why I choose Vietnam.
So, what are some remarkable things about Vietnamese contemporary arts that you have noticed so far?
Everyone is cooperate together as a team. For example, when I go to research in Ho Chi Minh City, at the time I didn't know not much about Vietnamese art scene in Ho Chi Minh City. But whenever I meet people, they introduce me other institutions. Yeah, and they are actually really good friends. So if I ask something, they are really supportive. So when I, organize this exhibition, many curators and artists helped me a lot because I'm not, familiar with this art scene. So it was very interesting. Also, I was kind of very impressed and moved. They are struggling to promote their art themselves because Korea, we have many support programs from government, also nonprofit organizations, but here it's very difficult to find any support and funded by government. But they are always struggling to promote themselves. So it was very interesting.
Could you tell us a little bit about your favorite Vietnamese contemporary artist?
Yeah, there are so many, but I really like artist Bui Kung Khan. He also participated in our exhibition. But last year I visited Singapore Biennale and I saw his work first time in that exhibition. And I also participated in his artist talk. The time he showed very huge installation to describe traditional housing from Hoi An. Hoi An is his hometown. And it was covered with carving wood. And it was very delicate and beautiful. Yeah, and he explained a little bit about the Vietnamese history especially in Hye Young. It was very interesting. And also January, I visited his studio in Hye Young. It was very beautiful studio located in a rural area. And he actually deals with many different types of materials. And he told me that he studied in art school in Ho Chi Minh City, but no one teach about contemporary art, so he studied himself. It was very, moved for me. And he also thinks that artists should deal with many different types of materials, and artists should have a craftsmanship. And I always think that artists should have a craftsmanship. So yeah, this is really like thing that we can.
In your opinion, what are the similarities and differences between Vietnamese and South Korean contemporary arts?
It's totally different art scene. I mean, the major art institutions in Korea run by government or non-profit organizations. And also we have very separated institutions to play law in different ways. But here, it's very hard to run, by themselves. It's very hard to get funded, especially contemporary art. So, for example, artists should run the space and curate exhibition and promote the artists. Also, they need to do their work. Actually, it's really similar to Korean contemporary art scene in the end of 90s and in the beginning of 2000 years. So I think it will be better.
An exhibition themed Undefined Boundaries featuring Vietnamese and South Korean artists took place in Hanoi from March the 3rd to the 31st, 2017. This was the first time the two countries organized an exhibition of contemporary art, marking a milestone in cultural exchange after 25 years of diplomatic relations. The event largely resulted from the efforts of Hye Young to study Vietnamese contemporary art and connect prominent artists of the two countries. She was a co-curator of the exhibition along with Nguyễn Anh Tuấn, art director of Hanoi-based Heritage Space.
Tôi đánh giá là vai trò của chị Hye Young là vô cùng quan trọng và rất là nổi bật trong sự kiện lần này, vì chị Hye Young là giám đốc chương trình đầu tiên của Trung tâm Văn hóa Hàn Quốc đặt vấn đề là tổ chức những cuộc giao lưu về nghệ thuật đương đại của Hàn Quốc với Việt Nam, và họ hoàn toàn chịu trách nhiệm trong tất cả các cái khâu tổ chức triển lãm và mời các nghệ sĩ, lựa chọn các nghệ sĩ và mời các nghệ sĩ và chuyên gia Hàn Quốc sang gần đây, và thực sự là đều là những người rất có đẳng cấp và rất có cái chất lượng trong cái chương trình lần này. Thì khi mà tôi làm việc với Hye Young thì chúng tôi luôn luôn chia sẻ được mọi vấn đề và chúng tôi luôn luôn có được cái tiếng nói chung để cái công việc này luôn được duy trì đúng như cái mà chúng tôi mong muốn, và đến bây giờ thì tôi có thể nghĩ rằng cái kết quả nó đạt được cao hơn điều mà chúng tôi mong đợi.
Along with the exhibition featuring prominent artists, the organizers also held dialogues between experts of the two countries. Being in charge of preparing the discussion agenda, Hye Young decided to focus on 4 major topics, including museum and gallery, independent art space, art collection, critic, and journalism. The experts presented information on the development of contemporary art in Vietnam and South Korea, while looking for opportunities to strengthen exchange in the future. Well, you played a key role in organizing the Undefined Boundaries exhibition and workshop in March. So what motivated you to organize the event and come up with the theme Undefined Boundaries?
2017 is the anniversary of establishing diplomatic relationship between Korea and Vietnam. It's after 25 years. So, people came to Vietnam a lot, have business a lot. We have, huge Korean community here. And also, Vietnamese love K-culture, K-pop, K-drama, K-food, but not contemporary art. Yeah, I realized that. So I think it's time to talk about contemporary art and artists, each other. And then, I was thinking about the theme, but the situation looks like we have boundaries. So I come up with this idea, this subject of boundaries. And then, no one deals with this idea, so it's actually undefined.
Apart from the exhibition, Vietnamese and South Korean experts also discuss a number of topics such as gallery and museum, independent art space. So what were the reasons for the selection of those topics?
Yes, I choose 4 main subjects: museums and galleries, and independent art space, art collective, and critique and journalism, because I thought that Korean contemporary art are composed by 4 these topics, and it plays a key role. I wanted to make 2 goals from this roundtable project. For Vietnamese panels, I really want to introduce Korean contemporary art world. I mean the structure of Korean contemporary art, because they can find how to cooperate in the future. For example, Seoul Museum of Art, they have artist residencies, and they are always looking for international artists. But I think not many Vietnamese artists are showed in many exhibitions in Korea. So I wanted to introduce, we have residencies and you can apply. So actually, for Vietnamese panels knew about it, and then they can, introduce other Vietnamese artists to apply for this program or something like that. Also for Korean panels, I really want to let them know the difference between Vietnam and Korean contemporary art scene. As I told you, Korea and Vietnamese contemporary art scene is very different. And they are always looking for something new artists and something new countries.
What do you think of the potential for development of Vietnamese contemporary arts?
I've met some people from Domino Art Fair, also Art for You. It's kind of representative art fair in Vietnam. And they said previous art fair, most foreign collectors purchased art, but it was totally changed nowadays. Vietnamese people started to purchasing artwork. So it means, people are enjoying art in their everyday lives. So this will be really changed. And I think the Vietnamese artists have really good talent. They are dealing with really good subjects like culture and history. Also, they're dealing with materials. So it will be really developed, I think.
Well, once again, thank you very much for joining us today and sharing some very interesting insights.
Thank you.
Well, that's all for our Sharing Vietnam today. Hopefully, Vietnamese and South Korean contemporary artists will have more and more opportunities to interact with each other and deepen the ties between the 2 countries. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again next time.